Hey, 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 Kingdom Kids, Miss Courtney here. And I just realized I was horrible those first three stories. I did not show you not one picture. Bad, Miss Courtney. Horrible. So I'm getting ready to show you the pictures of the stories that I've already read. The first story that I did was Sold into Slavery. So I'm going to share those photos with you now. Wait. And then the next one was Pharaoh's strange dream. So you see Pharaoh asleep in the bed and he's having his dream. And then you see at the bottom Joseph in his chariot watching over all the food. And then last week's story was the brothers come to Egypt, excuse me. So you see Joseph in the throne and all of his brothers before him. And then over on the other page, the guards stopped them because they realized they had taken something. Well, not really, because Joseph was testing them. But there's the guards. Okay. And I'm going to do better from here on out. I apologize to you all for not showing those pictures. So, as we get into today's story, this one is the last story about Joseph. And this story is called Forgiven. Bet you can tell where this story is going to go. Here we go. Wait, before I do that, let's recap. Because remember, at the end of the last story, Joseph wanted to keep Benjamin because the silver cup was in Benjamin's sack. And the brothers were like, no, my lord, don't do it because it would break our father's heart. And that's where the story left off. So let's pick it up, shall we? Let's. At this, Joseph knew that his brothers had really changed. They cared so much for their little brother and for how upset their father would be. Any one of them would have given himself up to save Benjamin. Crying tears of joy, Joseph hugged them and told them who he really was. He told them not to feel bad for treating him poorly, for it had all been a part of God's plan. I was sent to rule in Egypt so you would not starve in Canaan, he said. At first, they could hardly believe that this great man was their long lost brother. But when they did, they were filled with joy, for they had had many years to feel sorry for what they had done. Joseph gave his brothers food and gifts and sent them home to tell their father the good news. When Jacob was told that his beloved son Joseph was well and alive and the governor of all Egypt, he could hardly believe his ears. But when he saw all the fine gifts that Joseph had sent him, he had to believe his eyes. Then Jacob gathered up all his belongings and his herds and flocks, and he and all his family traveled to Egypt, where Pharaoh had promised them good farmland. Joseph came to meet his father in a great chariot, and the reunion was just as happy as you could possibly imagine. And here's your pictures. So you can see the whole thing. And that is Forgiven, the last story that I'm going to read to you about our man Joseph, the one who could interpret dreams. And don't forget, got that major promotion from going from jail, well, actually slavery, to being lied on, to being thrown into jail, to being in a chariot and second in command. So that's what the adults mean when they say, when they tell you that God does amazing things. And a lot of people say, you see my glory, but you don't know my story. Yeah, that part right there. Because Joseph has been through some stuff, okay? All right, friends, but that is your story. So I hope you are ready for bed and that you've said your prayers or you're getting ready to say your prayers. And I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, friends. Bye.